chucking it in, maybe in a semi-neat way. Actually, yeah, let's do this way. Put it up better.
It is officially winter. It is unreal that I am in a turtleneck, and last week I was in shorts and a t-shirt. It is cold, dark, gray, and stick season here already.
Not exactly winter. It's still very much fall.
It is winter!
it's definitely starting to feel, woo, potholes. Definitely starting to feel like winter, and with that, we have some winter prep that we're working on today. We have in the back, I don't know, can they see it if you put the thing in? We got a whole bunch of firewood back there. Well, we got a rick of firewood.
A rick of firewood.
We are going to start stacking that, do a test burn with our wood stove, and kind of just get a couple other little winter things going today, because it's getting cold.
Wow, I would love to say it is a pretty day here, but it is really, really gray out. But that is all part of it. Some days you have beautiful, amazing days, and then some days it is gray and dark and you still have to get stuff done. Behind the scenes.
Moving cameras.
Moving cameras.
So it looks good on YouTube.
Back of the truck was extremely weighted down. It's actually probably one of our biggest regrets. I wish we got a 250 instead of a 150, but we got a good deal on the truck, so it is what it is and it'll do for now. But eventually I think we would actually prefer having a 250 just so we have that peace of mind. We move a lot of heavy stuff around here, so just that peace of mind, knowing that we're not gonna, you know, break it or break anything. But she made it. She made it all the way here. So while Matt runs to the bottom of the hill to get another pallet, we're actually going to be putting our firewood underneath our solar panels for this winter. We eventually want to make a whole little area for it to go, but this is going to have to do for this winter. So we're going to do 2 pallets, and then we are going to put like plastic sheet, I guess a plastic sheet from here to here. So that will make sure that no rain gets through. It already is pretty protected, but a little bit gets through sometimes. So we're going to put that plastic right there, and then our firewood should be nice and dry.
You coming to help?
Always.
Coming to help or get in the way? Which one is it?
Both. Did you just break the tailgate?
Sure looks like it. I mean, not the tailgate, but... I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's broken?
Yeah, that plastic looks pretty broke. Wow. Oh boy, oh boy. All right. Well,
I guess we're unloading it like this.
guess we're unloading it like this. I think the plastic actually broke, so.
So we need a new tailgate.
Maybe it's because there was weight on it.
Weight on it, and you're pointed downhill.
Yeah, so. Well, all right. That's something we'll have to deal with that another time.
This is the third time it's broken in different ways.
I mean, I've had a workaround for quite some time, but this is totally unrelated from that. That broke. That had nothing to do with this. But anyways, so what we have in the truck bed here is a rick of wood. Howdy, Rick. I liked that one. So a rick is approximately a third of a cord. Around us, everything is described to as ricks, whereas where I'm from, everything's described in cords. Each one of these hunks of wood will be at least 2 pieces of wood in our wood stove because it's a mini wood stove and it can take wood up to 10 inches of length. So I'll eventually be building something to stack a whole bunch of this wood and then use a chainsaw to cut it all in half. That's for a later date. Right now, we just got to unload this.
And truly, we don't know if this is going to last us 6 days or if this is going to last us through the winter. We have no idea how much wood we're actually going to be using. This will be our first year ever using a wood stove as our primary source of heat, which is exciting and fun, but also have no idea how much it's going to actually use.
I don't anticipate it lasting a super long time, but it should take us a chunk into the winter. Again, it's a tiny wood stove heating a very small space. So we're not going to blow through wood like somebody with a big wood stove heating a 1,500 or 2,000 square foot space would do.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. At least for now, don't stack this screw.
Ow!
Stop at this one. Because
there was like a sliver into my glove, and I put my glove on, and the sliver went up into my nail bed. Ow!
So this, what we're doing here, isn't our long-term permanent wood storage solution.
Nothing is long-term permanent here.
And I say that like we'll change it this season, so probably we won't. But like Cass said, we'll be putting in a sheet here to keep the rain off the wood, but otherwise this will all still have airflow to it. It's up on the pallets so that it stays dry off the ground. And this is going to be like our bulk storage, and then over by the camper, I'm going to build like a mini wood rack, excuse me, that we'll have covered. And that's where I'll store the wood that is already cut to 10 inches or less. So I'll probably just do batches of that at a time. Like I said, I'm going to build a little rack that these, let's see, grab a longer piece, that something like this could sit in, and I'll be able to chainsaw a whole bunch at once. But yeah, that's kind of the idea that we have going here, is this will be a good temporary solution under here. And then we'll have a secondary one over by the camper. Got it down. With the weight off of it, I was able to mess with it a little bit. Definitely going to be a pain in the ass to do from now on, but maybe we'll be able to fix it.
We need a new tailgate.
Or I'll just get really good at doing it this way, and then I'll do it that way forever until something different breaks.
That is the key here. And one of the many reasons we're so nonchalant about it is because this is not the first time the tailgate has broken. Or the second time the tailgate has broken. I think this is the third or fourth time the tailgate has broken. Just different spots, so.
He's involved.
He's involved. The old farm dog.
What was that? Liquid hit me. Baby, was that your boogers?
No!
Was that your boogers?
You're making me laugh. It wasn't my boogers.
I don't know if this is still recording, but I just went, what was that? And she goes, what? And I go, liquid just hit me. And she's rubbing her nose, and I was like,
it wasn't my boogers.
is that your boogers?
It's not my boogers.
It's her boogers. There's definitely her boogers.
He is something right
She
now.
just shot her snot right at me. Oh my goodness, buddy. Last couple logs.
Last couple logs. Not the best wood stacking job.
Oh, it's terrible. It's really bad. We did not do a good job. I have stacked better piles in my past.
In my defense, I've never stacked wood. Like, for this reason, I guess.
I did it for like a summer job once.
Yeah, I did it for summer job, so anything that you say that's incorrect is because of my husband. It's fine. It's fine. It's vertical. It's staying. If it doesn't,
it's been one of those days that if we didn't already push back making this YouTube video, we would have been like, okay, let's just record it tomorrow. But we couldn't. So now we have a really poorly done wood pile. But it's
fine.
okay. It's okay.
I'm not overly concerned.
No,
about it.
I mean, it's sturdy. It's not going to fall. Probably not.
And if it did,
But like once
fall.
once we start actually cutting up the wood to go over there, it's going to take, I'd say, at least a quarter of the pile down. Too.
yeah, because we're gonna put it on the top.
Yeah, the second pile's going to be over there. So
I'm not mad about it, baby.
it works. It's here. It's going to be dry. So we're not going to get the plastic up right away, but if it rains before we do get the plastic up, we'll just tarp it. Good to not like fully cover tarp your wood pile, so that it can still breathe and dry out properly. I've also seen a ton of people do it, so I think it makes it rot faster too.
Got it.
So
Busy. Well, it is about 4 p.m. and it is almost dark, which is crazy. It's crazy. You're getting into your little nesting. That's what we're doing. We're trying to make sure we do like one homesteady thing in the evening. So I gotta go collect the chicken eggs, and then we are actually going to preserve some chicken eggs. We've been very, very lucky. Our girls have been producing very well, so we have a surplus of chicken eggs, which we're really excited about, but we gotta do something with them. And welcome into the Runaway Ranch kitchen. And we are gonna do one of my favorite things that I have learned since being on the homestead, and that is preserving farm fresh eggs. You know, you have chickens, you cannot eat as many eggs as they are producing. Hopefully they're producing good for you. The thing is, eggs are very seasonal, actually. We're lucky right now, it is mid-November and our girls are still producing very, very well. But come a couple more months, as the days get even shorter and even shorter and even shorter, I don't know how much longer they're going to be producing. So I'm going to take advantage of their eggs right now and make sure that they're saved up so I have eggs all winter long. Now, when I say I have a lot of eggs, I have a lot of eggs. And these aren't even all of them. This is just when me and Matt were away. Blaine and Ness were collecting our eggs for us. And this is just a couple days worth of eggs. And then I have some more. I probably have another like 3 dozen that are just out, and then one in the fridge. So we are like literally egg rich over here right now. Now, this process is actually really, really easy, which is part of my favorite thing. There's no pickling, there's no boiling, there's no nothing. It is simply all you need is a jar with a lid, some pickling lime powder, and obviously your farm fresh eggs. Now, first things first, you want to make sure your eggs are not washed. That is a huge part of just keeping eggs longer, especially if they're farm fresh, is they're not washed. You can literally see maybe some poop particles on this egg. Not be washed for this storage. They have to be totally with the bloom on them. Now, before we fill this one up, I will show you that I have already made this one and another one. So these ones are already stored and ready to go for the winter. What is great about this is that they last up to 2 years, which is wild. When you're ready to use them, you can just take them out of this jar, put them in a different container, clean them, and boom, you got farm fresh eggs. So first thing that you're gonna need is just a quart of water. And now that I have my quart of water, I actually use my scale because I just think it's the easiest. I put it on to fluid ounces and then I just zero it out. Now I'm going to grab my pickling lime. I don't even know what it is. Pickling lime powder, I guess, or salt, or whatever you want to call it. Pickling lime salt is what I'm going to call it. And then you're going to use an ounce of this to 1 quart of water. So it all depends on your ratios, how much you're doing. I like to do them in the big jars because if I'm going to store something, I want it to be in big jars. But that's just me. So I'm going to get this to go an ounce. Okay, that is perfectly an ounce. Ideally, you would like the point down. All right, so anytime you stack eggs, you always actually want this point down. So ideally you would like to do that, but obviously when you're stacking them into here, it's not the easiest thing to do to keep it all down. But that's what you want to do ideally. So let's go. I put the big ones at the bottom, but that's just me. So that one didn't go perfect. Also, I just think this is like the coolest thing ever, that these will last for 2 years. Like, I think that is unreal. Like, it's not much. It's not a ton of work. Just like have farm fresh eggs. Like, it's so cool. I feel like it's also a little bit of a Tetris game. Try to sing how many you can fit in there. I think I fit around like 15. I never count. Matt's always like, how many did you put in there? I've literally never counted. So I don't think this one's gonna fit. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. That's a little high for me. That's risky. I'm not doing that one. Last and final step. Take your little mixture. Make sure it's nice and mixed up. And then you are just going to dump it right on top. It looks like this like cloudy mixture. Okay, and you guys can see that I actually have 2 little eggs sticking out on top. The biggest thing is to make sure there's no eggs sticking up top. So I'm just gonna make a touch more of this mixture and then finish it off. Now you can see, boom, it's fully covered, fully submerged, all the eggs. And what will happen is it'll start getting less and less cloudy like you saw before, and you'll actually be able to see the eggs. I recommend you date them just in case if you plan to store them for long. But now you will have these eggs even when your girls aren't producing as much. How cool is that? Done. Done. I love that.
If you've seen our recent videos, you know that we are installing this mini wood stove in our camper home behind us. So they have 3 different sizes. This is the 4K and it's rated for spaces up to 300 square feet, I believe. The 3K is up to 200 square feet. This 4K is up to 300 square feet. Then they have a 5K that's up to 500 square feet. Actually a family-owned company made in the US, based in Idaho, which is awesome. If you've been following us for a while,
we love Idaho.
You know we love Idaho. And they send you a fun sticker. We got something from them that said, from Idaho with love. So.
This is actually a little overrated for our camper for the square footage, but I wanted to make sure that we are toasty this winter.
But those ratings are also for places that actually have real winters.
Yes.
Whereas like our Tennessee winter isn't going to be very significant at all. They actually have a calculator somewhere on their website where you can put your region in, the size of your space, I think like the average low temperature
like if it's a cabin or if it's like a camper, because the reality is too, we get drafts through the camper as well, just because it's an old camper. So I think it'll keep us nice and toasty.
But the temperatures are getting cold, so that's why we got the wood today. And right here you'll see I have a couple pieces of the wood cut to 10 inches or smaller. That's what's recommended to fit in here. And something that you have to do, because we are installing this, you will see us doing the hearth in our very next video, then the completed install and first use within the camper in the video to follow that. So if you want to check the progress of this, make sure you're subscribing to us because this is our trial burn. We got the hearth project and then we have the install project. But they recommend that you do a trial burn outside. I believe it's to just burn off any of the factory oils.
Just to make sure.
Yeah, before you bring it inside and have that going on inside. So these are cut to size and we're going to get a little fire going.
It's a perfect chilly night for it.
It is. I think I want a cider.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you have a small space that you want to heat more self-sufficiency, or if you just want the awesome ambiance of a fireplace in a small space, click that link, check them out. A really, really awesome company. Let's get this going. It's getting chilly. I want to sit in the chair by the little fire, even though it's outside, and warm it up. So.
Warm it up.
I could sit around and wait all day. You lay easy on my mind, like a candle.
Great, we got the fire going. We'll close her up. Just kind of let her burn. Give off some heat.
It's so cute out here.
It is cute. Look at that. Nice. Let's get a cider and sit by the fire.
Okay.
All we really have is time. I don't wanna waste it on.
All right. First little burn in our fireplace.
Look at us.
This is exciting because obviously you guys know we're off grid and we try our best to be, I wonder if you can see me through the smoke. Try our best to be as self-sufficient as possible. Incredibly hard to be fully self-sufficient or even very self-sufficient, but we're trying.
We're trying, and doing things like this make it more possible. Now we're not going to use as much diesel. We're going to be using our wood.
Yep.
Obviously, this first rick we purchased locally, but that's still supporting a local company.
Yeah, and kind of like
wood.
getting your resources as close to you or within your community as possible.
Which is so cool.
And we have the ability to have so much firewood here. We have a really good friend, Jerry. Hi, Jerry, if you're watching right now. Hi, Lisa. That has offered to bring over his log splitter for us. But unfortunately, it's just been a tale of one of those, this gets in the way, that gets in the way, now this is going on, now Stetson's sick, now blah, 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 blah. This rick will get us kicked off this winter, get this wood stove burning, keep us warm. I feel the heat radiating off of it.
It feels
really
great.
Nice. Yeah.
It's gonna get so warm in that camper. But as always, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out here at the Runaway Ranch with us.
Stay tuned. Next couple videos, it's getting this baby done
there.
and finishing our winter prep so that hopefully we stay more warm this winter than we did last winter. Thanks for the support, fam.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's getting smoky for them.
It is smoky.
Smokey, should we open it?